Let's go over how to farm materials in Anime Warrior Simulator 2. Hey, let me into the sister here. Hopefully having a great day. I'm having a great day. We're back today in Anime Warrior Simulator 2 because we're going to be going over materials, which is this lovely things that we need to shiny, get traits, and get some pities. All in lovely game. So, if you have not already, please make sure you smash the like button, do the subscribe button. I really appreciate it a lot, and let's get right into it. So first things first that I want to cover is we're going to be going over some of the easier methods and some of the more higher rate methods. So I am going to comment when stuff is going to be usable, when stuff isn't. I'm also going to be showing y'all something that for update days or when you really are looking for a very specific battle is really OP. So let's get running into it. So the first that I would recommend, and probably the highest that you're going to ever get stuff from, is really simple. Just AFKing while you're hatching. And when I mean AFKing, I mean you need to be able to one-shot the mobs. So I'm over here by the hero egg, working on getting a pity from it, and I can one-shot the boss as it spawns in. Really easy, really simple. I'm going to get materials every few times. The times that this is really good is when you get the enchanted or the pink or the purple looking one, depending on how colorblind you are. Those will have a 100% chance to drop 1 to, I think, 2 or 3. So those are also really good. You'll find those frequently, especially if you're AFKing. Now, something to go along with sitting on the lovely guys over here is when we have corruption events. So if you're not aware, this is what corruption event does. It increases your drop rates, and it also makes the mobs respawn faster. Well, this is really, really good because it lasts for 15 minutes. So if you just sit there and let your guys kill stuff over and over again, I did a full 15-minute timer for me doing this exact zone, actually, and I got, there you go. I think it's like 20 from what I remember of that recording. So I got 20 materials in 15 minutes, which, I mean, that's almost enough to start, like, the first secret pity. So, I mean, that's not too bad. For just 15 minutes of work, super, super easy. And something I would recommend, especially for free-to-play players. When you see that pop up, that's a good time to 1, be hatching, and 2, be attacking the boss. So I'd recommend doing that. Now the next way, and the way that's a little bit more controlled, is going and doing dungeons. So we have easy dungeon. Easy dungeon is not going to give you as much as the hard dungeon or the insane dungeon. The insane dungeon does tend to drop a little bit more. You can see here from these two pictures. I got more, especially a lot more from the insane dungeon. So if you're having a choice to do either or, I would recommend going and farming the insane dungeon, just FYIZ. And last what I'm going to talk about is the way that you can get stuff really quick, but it's a little bit RNG based because it depends on what it is. And I'm talking about battles. So for normal battles, this is the rate you're going to be seeing. This I did record during the ×2 event weekend, so gotta cut these in half is what you're seeing them. And then for Insane Dungeon, you're going to be getting this. Now, this is really good if you're trying to farm up some quick gold, or you're really needing like some quick materials so that you can get the first pity started, especially on update day. Update day is when I would highly recommend doing these battles. If you're looking on how to do battles, I'm gonna tell y'all a really complicated way second, but I spent way too long today working on it. So the easiest way is just sit in your server. Every 30 minutes, you will have a battle spawn in, and that one's super, super easy. You literally sit there, you wait for it to spawn in, see if it's one you want. If not, you don't do anything to it. Really easy. I would recommend going ahead and doing some battles because they get increased crit chance, and that's going to help you a lot with damage. So I would still take the time to go and do those, even if it's not something you're really looking for. If you're having trouble doing some of the battles, may see if you can get carried. If you are looking for battles specifically, I do know that the Discord has an active page where you can kind of look, and you know, if you have like an insane battle and someone wants that, I would recommend going after that together. However, not everyone has that option. So another thing that you can do other than just sitting in your server is server hopping. So if you don't know what I mean, I'm currently in my private server. So what I can do is hop to a public. So let me hop to a public. I'll see if there's a battle. Is there a battle? No, there is not a battle. I'm going to teach y'all a different way that you can server hop, especially if you have an alt account or you have friends that are on multiple accounts, how you can kind of maximize server hopping. I would not recommend doing this unless it's update day, you're really in need of like 1 or 2 more to get that pity, or you're just trying to get the achievement done super, super quick. So what I'm going to explain is every server has a server uptime, basically how long that server has existed. I've seen anything from 0 for being fresh to 2 days. Now this timer down here, it does mean a lot. The higher this number is, the less likely you're going to be able to use this method. And let me explain why. So here, we're going to use my private server. This is my lovely footage from earlier. As you can see, right at the 30-minute mark, we started. I had a battle start. Battles respawn every 30 minutes from when the last one was completed. Meaning, so I went ahead and did this battle. We ended at 31, 32-ish. That means the next one is not going to start until 2 minutes past the hour. So as you can see, I get the prompt that the battle is going to start. It's a 25-minute marker. That means it's going to start 2 minutes after the hour. That's how that works. The longer a server's been up, it's more likely that people are going to have done these runs. And let me explain. So I went and server hopped and recorded data for 4 different servers earlier today. I had one server that had 17 minutes that had been up. First one had an announcement at 25 minutes. It started at 30 minutes. The next announcement did not come out until 58, which means it took them 3 minutes to complete the dungeon or the battle. And that means it didn't officially start until 103. Now, I found a server that was 2 days old. The reason this server is not good to be looking at is because you can't tell how many minutes it's been. For whatever reason, when it hits that day mark, you can't see that. So if you're server hopping and looking for battles, this is not a good server to stay in to look for. Also, it's going to be really skewed off, so you may not be able to remember it well. The next server I went to, the server was at 8:50 when I had joined. The announcement message came out at 9. And then 5 minutes later it started, which means it had had a few battles, and so it was already delayed by 5 minutes. So again, I may want to use this one. I could keep in mind how to use it. If you don't know how to maximize your server hopping, basically if you're on web browser, you can open up multiple tabs, and I can kind of show y'all on the thing real quick. As you can see down here, there's a bunch of different servers. So what you can do is just say, stay on this one page. I can click join on this server. And then I can remember say, hey, this one's 5 minutes delayed. It's going to have, the next one's going to be at this time. This one's not delayed. This one may be delayed 10 minutes, so it'll start at this time. So you can do this and get really complicated with it. I feel like it's too much work for too little reward because the battles are randomized. So unless you're really looking for one, this is the only time I would recommend this. Like if you are wasting time hatching when you could be going and getting stuff like that. So this is not something that's like easy to do. People did stuff like this in Sword Fighter Sim or anything that is a server based. So what I would recommend doing is, unless you really need this, do not attempt this. If you are still confused by this, basically you start marking down numbers for each of these in a book. You say, you know, the server with the man with glasses, the cat, and then dark and creepy. That's how you would do it. And you can do this as many as you want. Now, if you have multiple private servers, multiple friends, things like that, you can always use that. Just keep in mind that if you're using alts for this, they are not going to be able to see the display message for the battles because if they don't have the zone unlocked, they don't get the message. So unless you know like when the server's been up and when you can go on in, that may be a little bit more complicated for you. So, but yeah, server hopping's definitely doable. But my primary way that I hunt for materials, to be honest, guys, is I AFK. I just AFK a lot. I actually just hit my 500-hour milestone. I just got this achievement. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I would recommend. And that's how I have an absolutely monster amount. I don't really do dungeons. I don't really do battles. I sit and basically smack things over and over again, sitting there AFK. All right. Hopefully this was helpful for y'all. And I'll see y'all next time.